Umitam zeh ne'emar b'kol makom. And for this very reason, it's mentioned in all the places. When I say all the places, we're talking about all the other tribes, and we'll see 2 out of the 3 tribes of Levi. So by all the other tribes, if you look in Bamidbar, that's Numbers chapter 1, verse 20, you'll see the whole list. It says, Lemishpachotam leveis avosam, according to their families, according to their fathers' houses. That's how the census should be taken. Chutz mi b'nei Levi, when it comes to b'nei Levi, we see the words, if you look in chapter 3, verse 15, Bekore b'nei Levi, leveis avosam lemishpachotam. So when it comes to b'nei Levi, it says according to their fathers' houses, according to their family. Here in our verse, it's very similar, right? We're talking about b'nei Levi. It says, Nasu es rosh b'nei Gershon, gamhem, leveis avosam lemishpachotam. Exactly the way it says that Levi should be counted, as opposed to all the other tribes. So there's a very clear difference. I just want to go back over this. All the other tribes is their families first, then their fathers' houses. Says directly, Levi should be counted according to their fathers' houses, according to their families. So it's switched. And B'nai Gershon, which is the one we're dealing with in our verse, is exactly the way B'nai Levi should be. But we don't see that by the other 2 tribes of Levi. Tam echad l'shneihem. It's one reason for both of them. Ki habachor, when it comes to Bachor, bo adam mitzad avotav. What's the Bachor? He comes from his father's side. In other words, it's the father's, as it says, imu kocho v'reishit ona. Imhu. We're talking about someone who's coming from his father's first drop, right? It's the power and the potency that comes from the father's first drop, let's say. And we had a whole redemption process, a switch up, where all the Leviim, the 22,000 Leviim, were switched, were redeemed, were in place of the Bechor. The Bechor was supposed to serve in the tabernacle. Okay, so they were involved like the rest of Am Yisrael, the rest of the Jewish people, with the golden calf. So they lost that. Then the Leviim are now going to serve in the tabernacle, and they replace the firstborn. So there's something special about Levi being leveis avosam lemishpachotam, according to their fathers' houses, according to their families. And also B'nai Gershon is used in the same way because he's also a Bachor. Okay, so we're back in the text. Shebo lahachli v'levim b'Bachorim hiskir b'levim leveis avosam. So we see that since the Levi was taking the place of the firstborn, it says leveis avosam, according to their father's house. Ilu hayu hema habachorim asher ma'alatam tluim bebeis avosam. As if it was them, the bachorim, the firstborn, which is the virtue, their mila, their status was hanging on the fact that they come in from their father's house. It's the lineage thing, because they're the first drop of their father's potency. V'chein kan omar, so too here in our verse, we're talking about B'nai Gershon. Noso es rosh B'nai Gershon habachor gamhem. That we're going to count, we're going to make a raising up, we're going to count a census of the children of Gershon who are the bachor, who are the firstborn, gamhem also, meaning Levi, like Levi. Because they're the only ones that are counted like this. Ratzon lomar, gamhem yesh lehem mila. That also Gershon has the same mila like you have within B'nai Levi. Umahi mila, and what is this mila? Leveis avosam, the very fact that they're the firstborn. Hainu b'chora hamidyachesit leveis avosam, because that relates genealogically as the firstborn. That's why it's related leveis avosam. But you don't see this by the other 2, meaning Kahat and by Merari. V'im nashkalam arna, if you want to say, shahakdamat leveis avosam, the very fact that by B'nai Levi and by B'nai Gershon, it says by their father's house first, and then by their families. That would be shayach dafka etzel b'chorim. If you want to say that, this is specifically relating to what we call the firstborn. V'lo etzel Leviim, and not necessarily by the Leviim, you can't say that. As nochalamar, because then what could you say? Shekachis eskel Leviim. So then what's mentioned here by the Leviim, which it does say leveis avosam lemishpachotam, according to their fathers' houses and their families, Laharos, then what would it be teaching you? Shim megam b'chorei Levim, that you should also count the firstborn of Levim. Now, if that's the case, kisach adayt kamina, then I would have thought mistakenly. Me'achar shadayu lebachor she'ifka es atzmo min apidyon. So remember that I mentioned there was a pidyon, there was a redemption going on that we were doing one for one. Each one of the firstborn were being replaced with Levim, right? The firstborn were going to serve in the temple, and because of the sin of the golden calf, they lost that responsibility and that privilege, and it was handed over to Levim. But out of Levim, you had firstborn as well. So me'achar shadai lebachor she'afkia es atzmo min apidyon. After the fact that the bachor was ransomed, they had to ransom themselves, right? Lo nitna bachor Levim takas bachor Yisrael, right? That there wasn't given over the replacement of Levim in place of the bachor Yisrael. Im kain ein tzarich limnos bechina. There wouldn't be any reason to count them at all. Meaning the firstborn of the Levim. Kamash malan pakod et bnei Levi leveis avosam. No, it says you should count the bnei Levi according to their father's houses. Shafilu b'chorim, even the firstborn. Shemalatam beis avosam. Their virtue came from the fact they were firstborn, that they came from their father's house. Yispor v'yimna, you should count them. Kiyafa pisha enam b'klal pidyon b'chorois, even though they're not required to be involved in the pidyon, nevertheless, they are still included in the count for the service and the servants and the service of the Mishkan and the Kela. Because you should know that Hashem, Baruch Hashem, we're going to a pidyon event tomorrow morning, and if the person was a Levi, there wouldn't be a need for a pidyon event. Okay. So that's it for today. We're going to take a break, and I wish everyone a good Shabbos and a good Yom Tov.